Yep. In the last session, we have discussed what is thread and what are the different states of a thread. Let me go and create a thread. So let me go how we like. Let's see how to create a thread. Let's see how to create a thread. How to create a thread. In order to create a thread in Java, we have two ways. Actually, three ways, but lambda expressions we won't be discussing over here. Okay. So, two ways. One is using the thread class. The other one is we will be using runnable interface. These are the two different ways we will be creating a thread. Okay. And let me say this one. The first one is thread. First one is thread class. Let's discuss about the thread class. Okay. See, in Java, I told in the first itself, I told you flow of control. What is a flow of control? How we will be flow of what is a thread? Thread is nothing but a flow of control. How to create a thread? Creating a thread is nothing but creating a flow of control in Java. So using a thread class, we will be creating a flow of control. Thread equals to new thread. We'll be having a constructor, default constructor. This is okay. Creating a flow of control in Java is nothing but creating an object of a thread class. Okay. So, and thread class object can be created in multiple ways actually. So this is the one way I have used it. So that let me show the two other ways actually. One is the I'll directly using the new operator will create the thread class. New operator, we can create a thread class. The second way is using a factory method. There is a factory method. Okay. Using a factory method, we will create an object of thread class. And the third one is that, using subclass of subclass of thread class. These are the three different ways to create a thread. First one is we have seen it. So just now we have created, right? So this is the one which we will be using to create an object of thread class. Thread T1 equals to new thread. Okay. The second one is we have a factory method. So the factory method, which is nothing but there is a static method in thread class which will be giving a thread. So the static method is current thread is the method which will return the new thread. Let's say as this is a current thread is a static method, we will be called with respect to class name. So thread dot current thread, this will return a new thread. This will return a new thread. Thread T2 goes to new thread. Okay. So and there is a one more way, which is nothing but so we have to using a subclass of thread class, we have to extend this thread class in a user defined class, and we will be creating an object of subclass. Okay, let's say for example class a extends thread. Okay, so open the braces and see. So when you are extending thread class, whatever the methods available in thread will be coming over here. So now when you create an object of your user defined class, you will be creating an object of your thread itself. Okay, so you can directly from here you can directly make a call to the you can start executing a thread by calling the start method. Okay, fine. So these are the different ways to create a thread. Okay, you can create like this, or you can use dynamic binding for concept thread t1 equals to new, and where your implementation is provided in a you write the implementation class. You can follow this one or this one, anything is fine. Got it right? Okay, so the next concept we are discussing is thread priority modifiers. So what are the thread priority modifiers? Okay, so see, normally we will be, if you are not, so normally for every thread, the default priority would be, 5. Okay, the default priority would be 5. Okay, this is the normal priority for every thread. Okay, so if you want to give more priority, let's say for example you have multiple threads T1, T2, T3, okay, T4. Okay, these are the four different threads we have. Okay, these are the four different threads we have. These are the four different threads we have. This is T2. Okay, so by default, if you are not assigning the priority, the thread priority is 5. Okay, if you want to give the more priority for T2, let I want to execute this T2 first. Okay, I'll be giving the more priority. So 10. 10 is the max priority for every for any thread. Okay, and if I want to least, I want to give the least priority for this T3 thread. So I'll give 1 is the least priority. Okay, if I want to give no 8 as the priority, I can give the 8 as a priority. So after this is the normal priority. If you are not providing priority for any thread, this is the normal priority. 5 is the normal priority. If you want to provide the least priority for any thread, so you want to complete the thread in like if you want to execute the thread, which will take a lot of no in minimum in one. This is the minimum priority actually. So you can say that if you are giving the minimum priority, the thread will be executing very lately. So max priority thread T2 10 is nothing but, so it will execute this thread as quick as possible. Okay, and T4, this is the second. Okay, so by default you can give 5, 10, or 1. If you are giving 8 also, it's like in after this T2 thread, the T4 thread will be executed. Okay, it all depends on, you can like you can assume that like we have only three thread priority modifiers. One is the norm priority, this is the max priority, and this is the min priority. Norm priority is by default it will be applicable for all the threads. Like if you want to give the highest priority, you can use the max priority. So they are the variables they have created. Actually they have given these variables. Okay, this is the constant actually, max priority, and this is min priority. Min prior priority, and this is norm priority. Let me copy, and this is norm priority. This is norm priority. These are the thread priority modifiers. So these are the like these are the above data members. These are the data members is used for setting the priority for a thread and getting the priority of a thread. Okay, so these are the thread priorities which is given by the Java. So you can use these priorities. So based on like if you want to give the max priority for any thread, you can use this max priority variable, thread dot max priority, and min priority. If you want to give any priority for a minimum priority for any thread, so you'll be using min priority. By default, if you are giving the priority on or not, so by default that priority would be now priority, that is 5. Okay, okay, so here we haven't given any priority for this thread, so by default the norm priority will be applicable, so it would be 5. Okay, if you want to set any priority, you can use p1 dot set priority, and you can set the priority of, so for example I want to set the priority max priority. I'll say thread dot max priority. Either you can do like this, or you can just mention the number. You'll understand that this is the max priority, something like this. You just mention the number. Okay, so these are the thread priority modifiers, and we have seen the ways to create a thread. Okay, and let's see the constructors we have in a thread class. So thread is a class which is given by the thread is a class which is given by the sun. Okay, sun, and the thread class will be having the uh, three constructors actually. Okay, 3 or 4 constructors it is having. Here, thread, which is a default constructor, the first one, and the thread of string. Okay, and we have one more thread of runnable, and we have one more, that is thread of string comma runnable. So these are the four constructors we have in thread. Okay, so we will be discussing about these constructors, okay, in the next video. So that's all. That's all for now, actually.